Chainsaw Man Chapter 112 is here. Let's get into it. Chapter 112, Between Cat and Criminal, the newest chapter of Chainsaw Man is here, and I'm here to give you my thoughts and reaction to it. But before we get into that, please make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for our sponsor. Sponsor of the video today is my Patreon account. Yeah, I'm selling out. I don't give a fuck. Sign up to my Patreon, patreon.com/ATwin, where you can get me my live reaction, my first reaction to the chapter, with some panels in it, as well as my reaction to all the newest animes that came out this season. I will say this though, I cannot watch anime week to week. I'm not 10 anymore. I can't stay up. It's not my MO. But what I can do is binge watch it for you. While I am going to binge watch it for you, I'm also going to be doing some Discord live streams of the episodes as well. So don't forget to check out my Discord, linked down below, and don't forget to check out my Patreon, linked down below. Now with no further ado, let's get into the video. This week's chapter is a very, very interesting one, only for the fact that we get some answers. Not really. We get some development in the story, and I feel like we haven't gotten that in a little while. Opening up, we are at the crime scene, some caution tape across the school from where the big devil fight went on the day before. And we just have Asa and Yoru going back and forth talking about some things. Yoru talking about how strong the weapon Asa made to fight the devil, and you're talking about who that mysterious girl was with the earrings and the Rinnegan eyes. Same Rinnegan eyes that Yoru, the war devil, has. Of course, Yoru says, I don't know who the f she is. Let's move on. I don't know if she's blatantly lying. I believe she is, but no matter what, that's the last we talk about that strange girl. It's not the last time we see her though. Moving on, Asa is just in her head thinking about everything that occurred. She can't really remember everything that happened because she was in a fight. She hit her head. But she thinks maybe that girl that blew up her friend Yuko, maybe that girl was the Justice Devil. And she has to kill the Justice Devil to, like, hopefully, I believe she believes, hopefully she can set Yuko free if she does. That's not how that works. And also, spoiler alert, Yuko's dead. But Asa does not know that yet. And that's also not going to be the solution, mainly because we see the girl right here. She is a part of the school's Devil Hunter Club. And I don't know if we knew this before, but it's also the student council. The Devil Hunter Club and the student council are one and the same, apparently. And we get to meet the club president / the student council president. His name is Haruku Izumi. Excuse my pronunciation. I'm not good at this shit. But he's here to kind of ask Asa to join the club because he says his teammates, his club members, saw Asa fight. Well, I think he more likely saw Yoru, the War Devil, fight, but one and the same, whatever. They saw them fight and they wanted them to join the club. Of course, the first thing that happens is Yoru, the War Devil, comes out and is like, I heard the Chainsaw Man was part of the club. Is that true? I'm thinking, no, of course not. He's gonna laugh and just brush her off, like, no, but we're gonna find him. Something like that, like saying a call to action, like, let's go get him together. That's not what happens. This kid pulls up his shirt and shows what looks like is Pochita's tail. The same tail that is in Denji's heart, which throws us into a whole realm of questions, because as you know from last week's chapter, and hopefully as you know from last week's chapter episode, the video I posted, there apparently are 2 Chainsaw Men right now. Strange, but is he the second one? And how did he get the power? I don't have answers to these questions. We don't get answers in this chapter. All we know is that they are now a group of people that we have to keep an eye out on. So it was pretty cool. Fujimoto kind of went the route of not giving us any conventional story plots to like grasp onto. Maybe because he thought, well, it's Chainsaw Man. Everyone already likes the story of Chainsaw Man. I don't have to build up the story right away. But I'm really glad that he's building up the story. Now we have a goal. We know that Asa and Yoru need to find the Chainsaw Man, and they think they know who he is. But they're not going after him right now. Asa goes on to tell Yoru that she's not Asa. Yoru goes on to tell Asa that she's not strong enough yet. She could barely beat Yuko in a fight. Not even a very strong devil, the Justice Devil, and not even the devil itself. Just somebody that gave human powers of the devil. And she literally almost got her and Asa both killed. She says, "Don't misunderstand. I'm strong. I just need strong weapon that can beat him." And that had my thought. I said it into my Patreon only video. Check it out. But it makes sense. So they go on and talking, and Yuru decides that Asa needs to make her a very strong weapon, just like the sword she made before from her school uniform that her mother gave her. And Asa agrees, surprisingly. And me and Yoru both are like, that's surprising. Why are you agreeing so easily? Well, I guess that conversation she had with Yuko the night before had made a lasting impression on her. Because she just wants to get back to her normal life. Yoru, the War Devil, just gives this terrible grin across her face and like, alright then. And they go off to kind of go sightseeing for the next weapon. But Yoru tells her, you don't need to make it out of humans. I see you don't want to. As we all know, Asa's not really a killer. So she says you can make it out of anything, but it should have some type of sentimental value to you. Maybe something even more important to you than the uniform your mother gave her. And Asa just sits quiet. And that's exactly what I was thinking when I first did my reaction to it. That, nah, this girl don't really got none. She like an orphan. She goes to school. She has no friends. That uniform was literally the only thing she had left. So they have to use something else. Just as a cat comes by. And Yoru offers a cat. And Asa just blatantly was like, I'd rather kill a human than a cat. Which I know for a fact, my girlfriend at least, would do that. And some of you would rather kill a human than let your dog die. I understand, pets are humans' best friends, but calm down. So they're like, okay, maybe not a cat. Asa's like, what about a criminal? I could definitely kill a criminal. And Yoru is like, that won't work. Creating a powerful weapon requires powerful guilt. A little bit weird, but whatever. So a criminal won't work because you wouldn't have guilt for killing a narcissistic maniac that likes to go on serial killing. But a cat that you would protect with your life, you would feel terrible for killing it and turning it into a weapon. So they need to come to a pass. They need to come to an agreement. So not a prisoner, but not a cat either. Something in between. We see Denji picking up cigarette butts in his school uniform. Just putting them in a plastic bag. And Asa gets to thinking. She's looking at him thinking like, oh, he's a loser, but he's trying to be a good person. Like, you know, good and bad, he's somewhere in between. But as she keeps watching him, Denji does some weird shit, which I find hilarious. He's picking a bunch of old cigarette butts, and he's opening them up, which is disgusting, by the way. He opens them up, pours them into new papers, and rolls them up like they're new cigarettes. And he has an old cigarette box, and he has a whole bunch of these handmade cigarettes in them, and he goes away. He takes them somewhere, and Asa follows him just to see that he's selling them. He's selling them to homeless people. He gives it to this old guy, says these are American cigarettes, top of the line, 1,500 yen, which I think they were. 1,500 yen was basically $15. Now it's like $13 or something like that if you convert it to US dollars. And the old guy buys it, and Asa's just like, this guy is a piece of shit. He's ripping off homeless people just to make some money. And she's thinking he's between a cat and a criminal, the title of this week's chapter. And I'm here sitting back and being thinking like, nah, Denji's making money. He's making his bread, and I highly respect Denji for that, because I need to be making some money right now. I'm not gonna do that. That's disgusting. But hey, if it works, it works. because it's weird. He's not bad enough to deserve death, but he's also not the most sinless human being. He would make a strong weapon. I'm saying if you kill Denji while he is the Chainsaw Devil, that would make a very strong weapon. That would be a strong enough weapon to like destroy a city. She stops Denji and it was like, "Are you busy tomorrow?" And I love this part because it's just so high school wholesome, and Denji's just like kind of like just being rough with her. It was like, "Yeah, I'm busy. I'm busy tomorrow, the next day, and the day after. I'm a busy guy." She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and he's like, "Why did you ask?" She's like, "Well, I thought if you weren't busy, you could go on a date with me." And Denji just looks so starstruck. He's like, "A date?" He barely knows the word. He's only been on technically 2 dates, one with Reize and, well, probably a few with Reize and one with Makima. Both didn't really end well for him, and neither will this one. And he kind of just looks down and blushes and says yes. And that's the end of this week's chapter. A little bit longer video. I really enjoyed this chapter. I really enjoyed it for the main reason that Denji, Chainsaw Man, the beginning of part 2, it didn't really grab my attention. It didn't make me go, "Wow, I really love this." Just like so many chapters of part 1 did. So many chapters made me look at the story of Chainsaw Man like, "Wow, I love this." Chapter 1 was really good. Chapter 7, 8, when Denji was fighting the Bat Devil. The end of the fight when Denji was fighting the Bat Devil, and then he went up against the Leech Devil, and he kept fighting even though he was out of blood. That, I was like, wow, this is really cool. So many scenes, one after another, had me sit back and like, this is dope. And I haven't been feeling that with part 2 of the manga, but now it's coming back. As the story gets more complicated, as Fujimoto throws in more characters that he inevitably is going to just kill off, as the mystery grows, I'm really falling back in love with Chainsaw Man, and I hope you guys are as well. Don't forget to check out my Patreon linked below, and don't forget to check out the Discord. Please help me. I don't use Discord like that, but we'll see what happens. This has been Alex on the channel ATwin. Thanks for watching. Thank you for staying tuned to the end. I appreciate it dearly, and have a good rest of your day. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.